All right, so last episode, I said that I was going to have to be sitting down. I'm standing now.
How?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know. It's the coffee. I show up listen, every time I hit Lemont to do an episode of Lemont Unlocked, Tess meets me at Folklore, which is your coffee shop.
It is, yeah.
And she immediately gives me a giant cappuccino. And I think she's just trying to keep me moving.
That's the thing. So, and I try to push 2 on you so that you got...
Yeah, you gave me 2 today.
Yeah, that means that you've had 8 shots of espresso. How you feeling? You doing good? You can stand.
Woo, yeah, I'm injured and I'm still moving around. Yeah. You know, I have to ask you a question, though. As somebody who, you know, I grew up, we were talking about this just recently. I grew up on the south side of Chicago in the actual city. So I'm a city kid. My dad was a Chicago cop. And so I'm used to the bustle of like a really metropolitan area.
Of course.
And so when I drive out here to Lemont, this is not a really metropolitan
quiet,
area.
yeah.
Okay. So am I just somebody that has no patience, or would Lemonters like yourself feel the same way? As I'm driving down Cal Sag on the way here, it's 45 miles an hour and the guy in front of me is going 35.
Oh, that person's me. Sorry.
I mean, like, it's one lane for miles to get into this town, and there's somebody just like, I'm just kind of enjoying the scenery.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
You know,
I thought it was just country living.
That's the thing. You get into this mindset of like, oh, everyone is just enjoying the beautiful day like I am. No,
I'm trying to get the Folklore for my 8 shots of espresso. 8 shots? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's a lot. Oh. Now you're going to want to drive like 80 going home.
Yeah, I got to be careful.
You got to be careful.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to be at Mabel's Market, where we're actually at right now. We're going to be talking with Sommer Steele. There's a big event coming up here on May the 4th.
Yes.
Okay, Market on the Canal.
Market on the Canal.
Which used to be Market on Canal, but now it's been moved over.
Yep.
And so we're going to be talking about that. You've been a vendor at that event.
I have, yeah.
As a business owner, when you're doing an event, is that fun for you? Is that hard to kind of prep to be out there, because you're not in your store, so you got to get everything together, you got to bring it out to where you're going to be, and then you're interacting with the public. It's not all your regular customers, because now you got other people. You're going to get some weird requests, and you're like, well, if you were in my actual business, I could do that for you, but this is all we're serving today. Like, what is that like? Yeah,
so as a vendor, I mean, first of all, Sommer does such a great job organizing the entire event. It is so stressful, not because like something is going wrong. It's more so just being away from your business is always a little scary. You know, I have such a great staff at Folklore, but to be a little bit farther away down the block, I still get a little nervous leaving every so often. But the amount of people that we saw come through in October when I was a vendor at Market on Canal was insane. We couldn't keep up. We had to keep going back and forth to the store. So it's stressful, but the customers make it fun. Everyone is so happy and enjoying themselves in the weather. And when you're just out shopping, and you know, what's the worst that can happen,
you're
really?
Just out having a good time.
You're just out having a good time. Yeah. So
little inside information for you. There is a possibility that, are you going to be in it this year?
I am, yes.
Okay, it's on May the 4th. So if Tessa's dressed like Princess Leia, don't be shocked. She's a huge Star Wars
I do
nerd.
like Star Wars, except, you know what? I'm more of the height of a Jawa, don't you think? Or Chewbacca, maybe, if I was
you're not
3 feet
Chewbacca,
taller.
An Ewok, you mean. You're not,
an Ewok.
You're not a Wookiee, you're an Ewok, Tess.
I feel like a Wookiee inside, though.
Oh, man, that's the best. We're going to end on that.
Yeah,
and we're going to meet Sommer Steele here at Mabel's Market.
Yeah, can't wait.
This is a place that I've been waiting to come back to for a while. I will tell you a little interesting story. My first trip, I believe, to Lemont with a podcast was not this one.
Okay.
And somebody told me that I should come and see Sommer Steele.
Yes.
And go to Mabel's Market, which was odd because that show normally went to bars and restaurants, and somebody was like, no, you still got to meet Sommer. So Sommer and I met years ago, and I came in here, and it was an audio podcast, and so now she's on camera, okay? And I'm going to start off the whole show, Sommer. I'm going to start off the whole show bringing up that you have one of the most amazing names. I still think it's fake. Sommer Steele, like you're like a big time B movie actress. That's what I've always felt like.
You know that I think I said whenever I call to make a reservation somewhere and I say Sommer Steele, and then I always add the disclaimer, I married into the name. This was not my usual name. This is a constant conversation for me because
That's
Kylie,
fantastic.
one of my shop girls, last name is Lamb. And just yesterday I said to her, what if my last name was Lamb?
Summer Lamb.
So I do this all the time. Whenever I find a word that's a last name that would match my name strangely, what if that was my name? So
Sommer Steele.
I love it. It's a great name.
It sounds made up. It's not made up. And she owns Mabel's Market. How long have you been here?
it'll be 10 years this year.
I love that. I love when I hear from a small business owner that they've been there that long, because you know this. I mean, I own my own company. I've met so many other small business owners. Hey, if you can make it to that mark, you got to feel some pride. Like something swells up where you're like, yeah, there were a lot of long hours, there were a lot of weird days, there were a lot of times I didn't think it was going to work. There was a pandemic. Look where I'm at.
Yeah, it has. Even Lemont has completely blossomed in a way over the last 10 years that I remember in those early days I kept saying, these great businesses are coming and going, but they're never here at the same time. There's like one will come and then it will close or move on. One will, and then finally, just now, it feels like we're all here together and you can feel the difference in the town.
And you're on one of the best streets in town. You're on Canal here. You got Diggs across the street. The bookstore, we just talked to them on the last episode, and that used to be yours as well. I was surprised when I went over there and you weren't in charge. I had to meet the new owner. But I mean, you're not, at least, you were like a Monopoly board game. Like you had property everywhere around here. But now it's flourishing. And again, that's kind of a testament to the people that were here early on to kind of establish things.
Yeah, I think so. Canal Street, when I first opened, we did feel like this is where you want to be. I think even when you were looking for your space, like this felt like these were the businesses that people were walking in and out of. It's quaint. It was one way. But now I think it's everywhere. I think Main Street and Stevens Street, even now Front Street is kind of developing in a new way. I think it's a little bit more of a community area now, that this isn't the only place to be.
And speaking of community, I mean, I know that when I was first starting off my business, Sommer was the first person that I went to ask questions about opening up a business in Lemont. So, and I know I'm not the only one. I feel like she has helped countless other people open up in Lemont too.
I don't know why, or how. Mostly the people come in, and I am really transparent on the trials and tribulations, and I don't know what the secret is. I think it's just showing up and trying to plug along and find support where you can find it. I don't know. I think I have talked to a lot of, I remember in the early days of Wooden Paddle walking around downtown Lemont and coming in saying, we're thinking about, coming to Lemont. I don't know. I feel like the grandma now. Like the mom. And now so many businesses have come in. I think I'm the grandma.
You though, also, you're very involved in the community, and I know this, that you do so many different things and you bring in other businesses for events. I mean, you have the market, which I know Tess is excited about. She's been a vendor during it. I mean, what is it like to be, it's not Market on Canal anymore, it's Market on the Canal, because it's moved off of Canal, right?
It is. It is. It used to be on Canal Street. Now we moved it over to Front Street, but wanted to keep the feeling and the branding of it, so we just added a little parentheses of we're on the canal now. Yeah,
and especially like I of course came as a customer first, and I was able to just see so many different vendors from not only Lemont but from the different surrounding areas, which is really great. You do such a good job of bringing other people in. As a vendor, it's even more special because Sommer does such a great job putting everything together. It's so organized. I love being a vendor. I really do. But how long have you been doing that for now?
The first market we did in 2017 was in our backyard, in our back parking lot. So we had vendors, 6 or 7. It was 2018 we brought it to Canal Street. And the first one we ever had, we had 19 vendors. This year, I think we have like 56.
Holy cow. What day is it on again?
It's on May 4th, Sunday, May 4th. And the first one, I remember we had about 675 people come, and it was raining. And we thought this was a smash success. We were like, we have arrived.
Yes, yes.
And then it grew. It grew because I think Lemont, we showcased Lemont. There's a lot of people that have never been to the town, and they're able to see it on this backdrop of different makers, vendors, artists, food vendors. And I mean, we curate it well. We care about the vendors who are here, like as people and as their small businesses. They're not just a booth to us. We're like, it's a real partnership. And I think that's allowed it to come across that way and grow.
For anyone who hasn't been to Market on the Canal before, what can a customer expect?
So, like I said, I think we have almost 60 vendors this year. There's vintage, handmade, and that goes from crochet, needlepoint, woodworking, art, jewelry, candles, everything that is either handmade, vintage, or salvaged, or in these last few years, we brought in a couple of the local boutiques, especially when we moved it there. Some of our local boutiques were able to grab the crowds that would come here, but now that we've moved it, we've kind of taken them along with us. So we have small business boutiques now included.
And so you have local vendors, because Tessa is folklore, of course, so the coffee's out there, because I mean, you got to caffeinate it.
You got to have coffee.
Tess told me today that her secret to her bubbly personality is the amount of coffee she drinks, and I don't buy that at all. I think that she wakes up this way. But
I drink a lot of coffee also, and my bubbliness does not compare.
I don't think it's just coffee. I don't think that's what it is. But you have people that are from Lemont, but it also sounds like a lot of these vendors are people that you would see at different craft fairs. How many do you get that are local? I mean, you probably don't have the exact numbers, but percentage-wise, or how many of these are actual Lemont businesses, and then how many are you bringing in from outside?
I would say probably 10% are local, like two living in or having their business in Lemont. The rest are local to Chicagoland area. We have some Northwest Indiana, some Northern Illinois. I think that is, it's a little bit what we're trying to, like this combination of supporting Lemont, growing Lemont and exposing it, but also bringing with new vendors, their customer base comes to Lemont also. So that's good for all of our businesses. Mm-hmm. If a vendor that's from Northwest Indiana comes and their crowd wants to come see them, and now they discover Matt's Barbecue or they discover Jilly's Boutique. So I think that in that way, that is the partnership. The makers and artists in Lemont, I think, have in general a plethora of opportunity to be seen, but bringing in a new community down here, I think, is works for everyone.
That's awesome. So it's May the 4th. Give me the detail, because I want to say that is there an entry fee for this? It's not just show up and start wandering around.
Give me your $5. Give me your $5.
Very well needed and earned, yes.
Well, and in the early days, I used to kind of give a disclaimer and give a list of the insurance and the security and the special event fee, and kind of have this feeling that I wanted to justify. I did that a lot in my early business, where people
figure it's outside and it's a fair, and I'm here to buy things, so why do I have to give a cover charge? So that's probably why.
Yes, it is. So I used to do a lot of justification over how and why there would be a fee. The last few years, I remember I had one comment on social media that someone was like, you know what, this is her job. And when you go there and you see the work, you see the people working, and they're not volunteering, and the setup, and I see the girls, my team here that shows up, the last one at 4:30 in the morning to be setting things up. That entrance fee goes to supporting all of the local people, the teenagers that we hire, the tents that we put up, the security that we have. It goes to supporting that. And I think over the last few years, I've felt less inclined to have to bullet point and say, this is my business. It's my business, and I work hard for it. And part of it is paid for by an entry fee.
That makes sense.
Yes.
This marketplace, we haven't even asked about it. I mean, where you're at Mabel's Market, like we haven't even touched on what you do here. And so I kind of want to give you an opportunity to tell me, because I know that every piece is unique. Like we talked before we even started. I'm like, something you want to show off? She's like, and she was like, it'll probably be sold in a day. Yes. And then somebody will come walking in here because they saw it on the podcast. It'll already be gone. They don't make another one of these. Yes. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do here.
It is, I mean, this is a constant question, almost 10 years of business, and I still can't quite put a description on Mabel's Market in the phone book or on the online phone book. It's under antique store, and I do have antiques. We have handmade, we have small batch. I refinish a lot of furniture. I do a lot of that custom work. It is a little marketplace in here, but most of the things are either, if not one of a kind, small batch. So there is that feeling that if you see it, you should probably buy it, because I have customers still that come back and like, remember 5 years ago when I saw that green vase and I didn't buy it? I know you didn't buy it. You're not going to see it again. So yeah, we have vintage. We just try to, we love the feeling of things being used generation after generation, taking something that's 60 years old and applying it to your house now. You feel that, just the uniqueness and the character, but the story behind it. So we try to present things in ways that give a story and that you're proud and excited to have in your house in kind of this day and age where everything is disposable. You can find those one-of-a-kind pieces here. And we're saving a lot of furniture that is great quality and it's beautiful, and it could have been someone's great-grandma, and now they have a very modern home, but they're able to use it. So it's truly a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah, and you've been known to refinish the furniture as well, but you also teach classes on how to refinish furniture, correct?
We do.
That's amazing. Do you have any classes coming up?
We do May 19th, I think, and we moved our classes to another local business in town here. We used to do it in here and move all of the items, and it was just not enough space, so I started teaching the furniture refinishing classes at That Girl & Co. So I've partnered with her, and we use her space. So I think May 19th is the next class that we have.
Learn from the best.
Is there a best way to sign up? Like, is there a website that they go to?
Mabelsmarket.com has the information on all of our events. On Market on Canal is on their description and the details. Our furniture painting classes, when we have our wine walks or other kind of special multi-store events in town, we usually post it there too.
By the way, while I've been standing here, I've already found something I'm thinking about buying. Tess, reach over there and can you grab that plate? Is that okay if we grab that off of there? I think I've looked at this plate. I've looked at this plate 4 times through this interview, and it says, "Till your unsolved murder do us part." I love that. That's amazing.
Now I'm scared to host with you.
Like I'm like, you're like, well, it's kind of antique, kind of other things. I'm like, that's another thing. That's one of those other things.
We had one, my favorite one. We usually have a plate that says, "You've been poisoned," but it's under the cake.
That's great.
You can find a little bit of our sense of humor as you go around.
I'm gonna need that plate.
That is amazing. Okay, so May the 4th, yes. It's going to be on. You said Front Street.
It is on Front Street.
Okay, and when does it start? When does it end? And I imagine you get the tickets when you show up.
Yes, and yes, it's from 9 to 3 all day. There's music and food trucks and coffee and snacks and vendors making cool things that are happy to see you, and it's all just in the backdrop of downtown Lemont.
You're always doing something fun. I know that we're recording this. We're recording this on a day that's already happened. So, I mean, I'm just talking about it. But you're doing like a wine walk or something. There's like a party every night in this town.
There is.
And they're all hosted by Sommer.
Sommer hosts all the parties.
I honestly cannot help it. At the amount of times I'm like, that's it. No more events. I'm not doing any more events. And then
you have another great idea.
I just have an idea.
Sommer Steele, it's Mabel's Market. Again, Market on the Canal is happening on May the 4th. Kicks off in the morning at 9 a.m. And it's $5 to walk in. I got that right, too?
You did.
See, look at it. I pay attention.
Bring all the kids.
They're free. See, I spotted a plate and I paid attention.
There you go. You got it all.
Professional podcaster. Thanks so much, Sommer.
You're welcome.
Bye.